You know, we gotta keep meeting like this.
I've lots of playthings, a dolly or two. We live in the house across the way.
Well, that was new.
Is there any insanity in your family?
Ain't it awful?
Attention passengers, this is your captain speaking. Please fasten your seatbelts. The approach will get a little rough.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. Defending liberty and freedom. Fighting the New World Order. This is the Free America Radio Network. Hey folks, welcome. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I said I was going to have a live show, but didn't quite make it. I have some other pressing engagements to attend to today, so I decided to make a podcast. Lots of things going on. Lots of things I've put up. Accordingly, you can go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show. Actually, you can go to... Well, let me see here. I gotta find it. I gotta find it here. I'm gonna put this up on the Wayne S. Pierce Show. I wrote something today, and I'd like you to read it. If you would, go to the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page, and let me read it to you, just in case you're not able to go there. I said, "How significant is 9/11/01? Very. After it happened, we got all these unconstitutional laws that are suppressing us and our ability to live in peace. Now, as always, people will bring up that day and muddle through attempting to disprove everything that the independent media has said about it. The truth is out there." Thank you, Chris Carter. December 7th, 1941 is a day that will live in infamy. September 11th, 2001 is a day that will live for eternity. The facts are there. Our government planned, created, and staged the false flag event we know as 9/11/2001. They've been doing that for years, in various ways, and for various reasons. I knew it the day it happened, just a few hours after it happened. I knew that something happened that day when I walked outside at 6 a.m. I lived in California at the time. I will never forget that day. The aftermath, the searches for the people that did it, etc., was staged as well, because how did they know who did it and where they came from in less than 24 hours? Everything that happened that day was staged, and the news about it for several weeks afterwards was complete and utter propaganda. The truth is in your face. To continue to refuse it, to accept it, to understand it, is completely wrong. And there's the Independent Thinkers 9/11 fact sheet. And I want to let people know that 9/11 is very, very important. Okay. Now when I get back from the break, I will go down through that Independent Thinkers 9/11 list and tell you all these things. But the facts are the facts, folks, and they're right out there. They're in your face. They'd bite you in the ass if you weren't looking. So I mean, here's a lot of things that people are basing their opinions on. Here's a lot of things that people are looking at and, number one, not accepting and not really understanding it. And then they come up with these preconceived ideas or these, all these other, things. And they're just, they work for the government. They're paid provocateurs. They're paid shills, and they're going to tell you whatever they want you to know, and they're going to try to dissuade you from looking at everything else. Well, they're wrong. They're a bunch of idiots, and we know the truth because the truth is out there. It is in your face, and we know it, and that's just the way it is. I'll be back right after this. It's no longer a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy fact. The TSA is out on the streets. The FBI is spying on you. And you are in the crosshairs of the New World Order. Come listen to The Views Expressed with your host, Reverend Wayne S. Pierce. Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Spreaker.com. Hey folks, welcome back. This is the Wayne S. Pierce Show podcast. I was going to do a live show today, but pressing matters have gotten my attention. So anyway, you can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com, and go to thewaynesPierceshow.weebly.com to check out the website for this particular show. You can also come to The Views Expressed live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on freeamericaradio.us and also wakingupthemasses.com, on Spreaker.com, and on 1610 AM in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. Sorry, folks, got a little something there, but anyway. So let's read this list, shall we? The Independent Thinker's 9/11 fact sheet. What occurred on September 11th, 2001 is a matter of facts, physics, and unprecedented violations of national protocol by American officials themselves. Here are 10 points to consider. There are hundreds more. No steel-framed, this is number one, no steel-framed building before or since 9/11 has ever collapsed due to fire. Number two, no official agency, the FAA, FBI, or the airlines, has ever released a list of 9/11 passengers, but within hours, the FBI released a list of the hijackers. Number three, multiple air defense drills were planned for the morning of 9/11. These exercises left only two fighter jets available to protect the entire northeastern United States. Number four, Building 7, a 47-story skyscraper and part of the World Trade Center complex, was not struck by a plane but collapsed in 6.5 seconds at 5:20 p.m. on September 11th in the exact manner of a controlled demolition. Number five, there was no visible airplane debris where Flight 93 supposedly crashed in Pennsylvania. Only a smoking hole in the ground, much like a bomb crater. Number six, office fires burn at low temperature of 600 to 800 degrees Fahrenheit. Jet fuel is an ordinary hydrocarbon. Its maximal burning temperature is 1200 degrees Fahrenheit in open air. Steel melts at 2750 degrees Fahrenheit. Excuse me, a little something there. Neither jet fuel nor the burning contents of the building could cause the tower's steel structure to buckle or fail. Number seven, tests have shown that cell phone calls cannot be made at altitudes over 4,000 to 8,000 feet, as cell towers are located on the ground. Commercial airplanes fly at 30,000 feet and above. No passenger could have successfully placed a call for help by cell phone from an airborne plane on 9/11 as reported. Number 8, 9/11 was immediately declared an act of war by President Bush. The rubble from the Twin Towers collapse was carted away and steel sold and shipped overseas without examination. Number 9, enormous profits were made by insiders on plummeting stock prices of the two airlines involved in 9/11, American and United. Federal law protects their identities. Number 10, accepting victims' compensation barred 9/11 families from further discovery through litigation. To download and print copies of this list, visit 911weknow.com. Pass around and engage in discussion. So how important is it? It's very important. Whether or not you want to believe it, whether or not you want to believe that our government created, staged, and implemented this false flag event, that is entirely up to you. I am here to put the information and the facts in your face, and that's just the way it is. Now, if you don't want to see them, bye, have a nice day. Now, I know some people might say that's contempt. Some people might say that's not right, that you're, why the attitude, right? Let me tell you something. Let me call you a liar. Let me call you a liar to your face. What is the first emotion that you feel? You want to punch me out, right? Well, since you don't want to do that, and it wouldn't be productive for you, you want to find the information to prove me wrong, do you not? Well, obviously, those 2 points are correct. So how about this? Take the information that I give, go look it up, examine it for as many years as I have, and go look at the information other than what the propaganda machine and the state-run media tells you, and you just might find the same thing I did. The government staged it, created it, implemented it, and lies to us on a daily basis. Okay? So, as we... Pardon me, folks, I'm going to get some water here. You're gonna hear me drink water on the air. So let me put it to you this way. I cannot and will no longer deal with anyone who has, I'll talk to people and discuss things with people that have a differing view than I have. I don't mind that. It's a good discussion, good debate, good healthy rationale. You know what I mean? It's really cool. But when people sit there and vehemently contradict everything that I say, when they vehemently say that I'm wrong, when they passionately believe that everything I'm saying is a conspiracy theory or a lie, my first reaction is not to punch them out. My first reaction is to show them the information, hopefully they'll get the clue, and dig more and find the information on their own. Does it frustrate me to no end that people, don't want to do this? Yeah, it does. So here's my decree at this point on the 16th of May, 2014. I'm done with stupid people. I'm done with people that have anything against anything that I say. I am done with them. I am done with those specific people that vehemently and arguably get up in my face, yell at me, scream at me, jump up and down and tell me I'm wrong and that I'm a conspiracy theorist and all this, that, and the other thing, and act like a damn fool trying to get their lying points across. I'm done with those types of people. Now, the people that genuinely want to sit down and discuss these things with me and have the information with them, and we can look at it together and we can examine it and walk away, shake hands, and, we'll, and enjoy the day after that. I mean, I really appreciate those people. But the other ones, kiss my ass. Walk away before you look like a damn fool. I'm done with stupid people. I'm just done with them. Bye. Enjoy your life. Now, here's the other thing about 9/11 and that's about any subject, really. If anybody has a contradictive view of anything that I say and adamantly and vehemently get angry and want to just, pummel me into the ground because I don't think the way they do, bye, have a nice day, see you, just bye-bye. Just get away. You're a waste of my time. So, the other thing about 9/11 is this. It has given the opportunity of this government to steal resources that we have, steal the constitutionally protected rights that we have, to undermine everything that we say with the propaganda that they spread through their state-run media, funded by George Soros' organizations and other organizations such as Media Matters. And it gives the government that much more leeway into our lives to try to suppress us and control us. That's what 9/11 has done. Can you say the Patriot Act? Can you say the NDAA signed December 31st, 2011 by President Barack Obama? Can you say several other things, such as giving everything, or I'm going to make a blanket statement here, but the verification is within the information you find about it, and that is giving basically all of our constitutional rights away and destroy them so that the United Nations can come in with their small arms treaty and whatever other things that they want to use to undermine and supplant, instead of allowing us to have our freedoms and our constitutional rights. So the information is there. You just have to go find it. If I were to tell you, I'd be taking up another hour just to tell you all that. So go check that out. Now, here's the other thing, the third thing that 9/11 has done, 9/11/2001 has done. It has given basically a license to the federal government to run roughshod over everything we do. In other words, now, here recently, FCC, who has absolutely positively no constitutional rights whatsoever as an organization, each individual there has protected constitutional rights, but the organization itself, the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission, is going to come along and try to get rid of net neutrality so that our rates for our internet connections will skyrocket. They'll go up. That way, people will start, they'll thin the herd, let's say, because people of conservative natures such as Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity, people of independent media such as Pete Santilli or Alex Jones or myself or Nick Tucker or Brian Lang or Brian Keller, any of those people will just get shut right out of the whole discussion about anything because, basically the FCC is going to say, the liberal side of any discussion is going to be the only side anyone will ever hear. We don't want to hear from conspiracy theorists. We don't want to hear from independent media. We don't want to hear from the truth or the facts. That's what the FCC is doing. They're going to cut net neutrality. Now, it's proposed at this point. Nothing's set in stone. Nothing is chiseled in the tablet. But this is the proposal. Now, when you look at the face of this proposal, you don't see all the rest of that stuff I just mentioned. What you see is it's going to do this, it's going to do that. But when you look deep into what they're planning on doing, it's going to cut out all independent thought, independent views, any conservative views. They want to cut everybody else out and only have the Marxists running the internet. They've already done it with the state-run media because now all of your mainstream media is funded and controlled. It's state-run media. It doesn't matter who it is. And I don't care. You can go to your local station there in your own town or in your capital. You ever notice that most of your networks are in the capital, not in your hometown? Unless you live in the capital of your state. Did you know that? I grew up in Stockton, California. We had a news station there, a station for the local affiliate there, the ABC affiliate. And now we don't. It's all in Sacramento, California. All of them. All of them. They're not in any town, USA. They're all in the capital. Why? Because state-run media. That's what it is. So it's all fake, it's all phony, it's all fraudulent. That's just the way it is. They read off a teleprompter, the script that was written for them, and that's just the way it is. Not one of those, that's a blanket statement. Let me back up a bit and retract that. Most of those national and local news organizations do not write their own copy to put on that teleprompter to give you the news. Several Fox News affiliates on air have quit and later on said that they did so because they got tired of lying to the people. So, say what you want, do what you want. I'm telling you right now, All of the state-run media, all of that you hear on your local stations, national stations, cable news, whatever, is all fraudulent, and they lie to you. Every single last one of them. So, after this break, I'll come back and I'll get into some more stuff. And you can email me at freeamericaradio@usa.com, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Come join me on the Views Express Live today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on Free America Radio Network. This is Reverend Wayne S. Pierce from the Free America Radio Network. Prepare yourself for the unexpected. Have an emergency food supply available when you need it. You never know when the next power outage or natural disaster will happen. Are you prepared when it does? Go to Free America Radio Network website and click on the Store tab and get your emergency food supply now. Go to freeamericaradio.us. A natural disaster could happen at any time. Be prepared. Go to freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab to get your emergency food supply today. That's freeamericaradio.us and click on the Store tab and prepare in case something happens. Listen to the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show, Friday nights at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com. Hey, welcome folks. Yes, come join Diana and myself for the Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com and on grabbagshow.weebly.com. I don't know what we're going to talk about. I'm sure we're going to talk about something. We had a few subjects this week that we were going to talk about, and we may or may not. I don't know. Come check it out. The Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show. Tonight, 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, right here on Spreaker.com and also on grabbagshow.weebly.com, right here on Free America Radio Network. Hey, folks. What can I say? I mean, there's tons of things that... There are tons of things... There are a ton of things that we have to take a look at and we have to pay attention to. And literally, you know, some people look at these things and say, well, I don't want to see it. Well, isn't that interesting? You don't want to. Well, I don't want to get up and go to work every day. How's that? I don't want to eat dinner every night. How's that? Well, that's different. No, it's not. If the desire to find the information, the factual information, the credible information, if the desire is there to find these things, you will find it. If the desire is not, have a nice day. Now, somebody says, somebody may say, well, you have a lot of contempt in you. You don't like it when people do this or do that or, you know, whatever. No, it's not that. It's the frustration that I feel when people insist that they're right when they have absolutely no proof. I have proof. Mama didn't raise no fool. She said, whatever you're going to talk about, you better have something to back it up with. And guess what? Mama didn't raise no fool. By the time I was in the 3rd grade, I was doing 5th and 6th grade material. By the time I was in the 9th grade, I was doing 12th grade math and college level English and doing all sorts of other work besides that. So, Mama didn't raise no fool. I'm a very well-educated person, and I understand common sense and logic. And believe me, there's not a lot of people out there that have that much going for them. Although there might be other people out there much better than I am, that's cool. Let's sit down and talk. I'm okay with that. I've talked to professors. I've talked to many different people. And let me tell you something. It's very educational when you sit down with people that know what they're talking about. It's very educational and very good, actually. It makes me feel good that I can sit down with other people that are a lot smarter, than I am on certain issues and subjects. And I learn a great deal from them. I'm cool with that. And that's why I take that theme and I give it to you and say, hey, here's what I've got. Go out and check it out yourself. But anyway, I run off on a tangent every so often. Come join me on the Views Express Live today, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on Spreaker.com and FreeAmericaRadio.us. And we're also broadcasting on WakingUpTheMasses.com and 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. So check it out. Hey, let's go here, folks. Let me take you in this direction. We have a how can I put this without sounding completely out of my freaking mind? How can I put this? How about going to themindunleashed.org? I will put this link on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. And it talks about a Harvard study. Give me a sec, folks. I'm putting it on the Wayne S. Pierce Show Facebook page. It talks about a Harvard study, themindunleashed.org. Harvard study confirms fluoride reduces children's IQ. A recently published Harvard University meta-analysis funded by the National Institutes of Health has concluded that children who live in areas with high fluoridated water have quote-unquote significantly lower IQ scores than those who live in low fluoride areas. In a 32-page report that can be downloaded for free of charge from Environmental Health Perspectives, the researchers said, quote, a recent report from the U.S. National Research Council, NRC 2006, concluded that adverse effects of high fluoride concentrations in drinking water may be of concern and that additional research is warranted. Fluoride may cause neurotoxicity in laboratory animals, including effects on learning and memory. To summarize the available literature, we performed a systematic review and meta-analysis of published studies on increased fluoride exposure in drinking water and neurodevelopment delays. We specifically targeted studies carried out in rural China that have not been widely disseminated, thus contemplating the studies that have been included in previous reviews and risk assessment reports, unquote. Quote, findings from our meta-analysis of 27 studies published over 22 years suggest an inverse association between high fluoride exposure and children's intelligence. The results suggest that fluoride may be a development neurotoxicant that affects brain development and exposures much below those that can cause toxicity in adults. Serum fluoride concentrations associated with high intakes from drinking water may exceed 1 milligram or liter per 50 SMOLs. I don't know what that is, so you people out there got to look that up. Thus, more than 1,000 times the level of some neurotoxicants that cause neurodevelopment damage. Supporting the plausibility of our findings, rats exposed to 1 parts per million, or 50 SMOLs/L of water fluoride for 1 year showed morphological alterations in the brain and increased levels of aluminum in the brain tissue compared with controls. Unquote. Quote, in conclusion, our results support the possibility of adverse effects of fluoride exposures on children's neurodevelopment. Future research should formally evaluate dose-response relations based on individual level measures of exposure over time, including more precise prenatal exposure assessment and more extensive standardized measures of neurobehavioral performance, in addition to improving assessment and control of potential confounders, unquote. Studies have repeatedly linked fluoride to reduced IQ and brain damage. There are so many scientific studies showing the direct toxic effects of fluoride on your body. It's truly remarkable that it's not considered a scientific consensus by now. Despite the evidence against it, fluoride is still added to 70% of U.S. public drinking water supplies. Does that correlate with the voting population? Could be. Continuing, it amazes me that the medical and dental communities are so stubbornly resistant to the connection, to connect the dots when it comes to the skyrocketing increase of cognitive decline in adults and behavioral issues in children, ADD, ADHD, depression, and learning abilities of all kinds. In fact, learning disabilities, I should say, of all kinds. In fact, there have been more than 23 human studies and 100 animal studies linking fluoride to brain damage. Fluoride can also increase manganese absorption, compounding problems, since manganese in drinking water has also been linked to lower IQ in children. Reported effects of fluoride on your brain include reduction in nicotinic acetylcholine or something, I don't know, the receptors. It's a reduction in the receptors in your brain. Damage to your hippocampus, formation of beta amyloid plaques, the classic brain abnormality in Alzheimer's disease, reduction in lipid content, damage to Purkinje cells, I don't know, Purkinje, exasperation of lesions induced by iodine deficiency, impaired antioxidant defense systems, increased uptake of aluminum, accumulation of fluoride in your pineal gland. And it just goes on and on and on, and it talks about harmful effects have been known for 50 years. Okay. I look at it this way, folks. Here's yeah. Here is something that literally has me so frustrated that I just want to, shake somebody's shoulders and wake them up. Okay? It just gets me to the point of wanting to kick somebody in the arse. Okay? I'm serious. It makes me want to just throw my hands in the air and yell and scream and jump up and down. But I don't. Why? Makes no sense. So instead of doing that and punching someone in the throat for contradicting me without having proof on their end, yes, I know that sounds contemptible, huh? No, I'm frustrated, folks. Just remember that. I'm frustrated. I wouldn't punch anybody in the throat or strangle anybody or shove somebody in a wood chipper or anything like that. I wouldn't do that. I just wouldn't do that. It's just not right, okay? So what I do is I get the information from all these reports and I shove it in people's faces, and then I tell them, hey, go check this out. Well, you're shoving it in people's face. You sound like you have just contempt for people. No, I have declining patience with people. Okay? I have this feeling that even with all of the information out there staring them in the face, they don't want to go look at it, number one. Number two, they won't accept it even if it was in their face, number two. And number three, they're going to deny everything. God, it sounds like you just don't like people. No, I don't like corruptible people. I don't like people who have been corrupted. I don't like people who don't think and use their mind and use their brain and figure things out. 2 + 2 is 4 in my book, folks. And not that Common Core bull crap either, okay? So anyway, fluoride in the water is killing you. Okay? Fluoride in the water is killing you. Do you understand that? Okay? Can I make it any more any more poignant or direct? It is killing you. Got it? There you go. Don't listen to your dental and experts and blah, 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 blah. Okay? They're wrong. They always have been. Okay? Now, I want to say this. I'm going to go in, actually, after the break, I'm going to take here in just a few minutes. I'm going to come back and I'm going to talk about this. And I'm going to get right down into the crux of the matter and show you how much cover-up is happening from our federal government. Our federal government saying the economy's good, everything's going in the right direction, and you know what? That's the crap they're going to tell us. Oh, there's no fire at the house down the street. What? Those firemen are just practicing. It's a drill. That was an abandoned house anyway. And later on, it comes out that there are dead bodies in there, and family was killed, and and all this, and then the news covers it up. There was a drill. They were practicing because they don't want the impact of what the government is doing to you to be such to where you get up off your feet and go start, kicking some butt and taking names. They don't want protests. Well, by the way, today, American Spring in Washington, D.C. If you're in the Washington, D.C. area, get there. Get there right now today. Get there now. Last I heard, there were 300 people there. I want to see thousands. I want you to send me information. freeamericaradio@usa.com. freeamericaradio@usa.com. I want you to send me information on how I can contact you if you have your cell phone on you. And I want you to be on my show today. The Views Express Live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern. I want you to do that. Okay? Seriously. I want to hear from you. And also, you can contact Bob Brutus over at wakingupthemasses.com. Any information that you want to share with him, you go right ahead and do that. He's talking with Brian Lang from LifeTruthRadio.com, and who's out there right now in Washington, D.C. right now. Mr. Brian Lang, send this off. If you cannot hear me, that's okay. Please send information. Okay? Send me information, videos, audio, whatever. Send it, please. freeamericaradio@usa.com. Anybody else who's out there, freeamericaradio@usa.com. Yes, I got to learn to breathe when I talk. I'm running out of air. But anyway, yes, if you're out there in that area, please send me the information. Video clips, audio clips, whatever you want to send me. freeamericaradio@usa.com. There's a backup email. Here is the backup email. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Try to get a hold of me. Try to contact me. We'll spend a few minutes on my show today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, and we'll talk about this, and you tell us what's going on out there. You can send me audio clips. If you don't want to call in, that's fine. Send them. Send me information. freeamericaradio@usa.com. That's the first email. Here's a backup email. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. freeamericaradio@unseen.is. Let me know what's going on. I want to hear from you. I do. I want to hear from you. Well, sit tight. I shall return right after this. Sharing the truth, one fact at a time. Listen to the views expressed live on the Free America Radio Network. Broadcasting live on wakingupthemasses.com and 1610 AM in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. Tune into the Views Express live Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on the Free America Radio Network. For more information, go to freeamericaradio.us. Waking Up the Masses. Truth, knowledge, and wisdom for your consumption. Waking Up the Masses. News and views concerning the New World Order. Waking Up the Masses. Join Bob Brutus as he pulls back the curtain on the esoteric agenda which has been in play for a millennia. Waking Up the Masses. WakingUpTheMasses.com. Hey folks, welcome back. This is Wayne S. Pierce for the Wayne S. Pierce Show. How you doing? Yes, for the 16th of May, 2014. I think I forgot to do that in the beginning of the show, by the way. So it is the 16th of May, 2014. Yes, this. Oh, what do we do, folks? I mean, what do we do? If somebody came into your house, if somebody just walked into your house and just sat down and started turning on the TV and went in your kitchen and started to eat and then grabbed your keys and went for a drive for a few hours and then came back and just, took over, what would you do? That'd be up to you. I know what I would do, but what would you do? Because that's what the government is doing to you right now. They're going, no, we think we know better than you. We think we can run your life better than you. The examples of how they cannot run our lives better and they shouldn't, and they should just, jump ship and go off and do their own thing. Here's an example of how screwed up the government truly is. The railroad system, the post office. The post office is losing billions and billions of dollars a year, okay? That's why our, stamp rates keep going up. Yeah, they're losing. That should be privatized. The post office should be privatized. It should be. That number one, right off the face of the planet right there. Off the top of the list. The railroad system should be privatized. Okay, did you know that the Bay Area Rapid Transit System in San Francisco, California, and in the Bay Area, did you know that was part of the government? What? Yeah. Transit police all over the place. Last time I went there and took the Muni and took the BART, I'll tell you what, man, that needs to be privatized as well. Social Security needs to be privatized. People that I know that don't want the Social Security to be privatized say, well, it'll raise our rates. We can't do anything, blah, blah, blah. Statistics have already shown that if you privatize the Social Security system, rates would drop considerably. And also, the health care, get rid of Obamacare. I don't even want to call it that. It's the Patients Affordable Care Act is what it's officially called. So get rid of it. Just get rid of it. Repeal it. Get it out of the system. Privatize all health care in regions where you can, because there's going to be opposition to that as well. But if you privatize all these things and you open it up to the market and let the market help adjust the rates, you're going to have lower rates, folks. I said it before. I'll say it again. 2 + 2 = 4. Okay, it's that easy. It's that simple to understand. And if anybody out there that crunches numbers for any of these organizations, you tell me why it won't lower rates. You show me. Don't tell me I'm wrong. Show me. I'm not from Missouri, but show me anyway. My family's from Michigan, and New York and Illinois, and yeah, I got them all over there. So I know what goes on in that area. So anyway. So, privatize it all. Here's the other thing that is relatable to this because of the fact that I've seen other countries do this, and that is decriminalizing marijuana and legalizing or decriminalizing, specifically, that's the official term for it, decriminalizing all drugs, all illicit drugs. Did you know that in Portugal, I believe it was in Portugal, and some other countries, a handful of countries, have decriminalized all their drugs, all their illicit drugs, and instead of making it a criminal issue or a criminal Issue, subject, whatever. They've turned it into a health issue. And guess what? Violent crime has dropped over 80%. A lot of these countries are now depending upon their own system to work itself out to be able to help these people. But unfortunately in America, in the United Socialist States of America, we have a police state here. Every other country looks at the U.S. and says, man, they're the biggest police state in the world. And they're the most criminal, by the way. When the president of Russia, Vladimir Putin, tells the American people that we better get up off our ass and fight for our rights or we're going to lose them, folks, that's a problem, okay? All right? He's telling us that we have to fight for our rights, and he's a commie? Actually, I would love to sit down with that man and discuss a few things with him. He's a very intelligent man. He's a black belt in karate. He's a former, KGB agent. I'd love to sit down and talk with him. I think he's a very interesting man. I'd also like to get him and Obama in the same room and ask them a few questions. Okay? So anyway, hopefully at the end of that conversation they can shake hands and walk out. You know what I mean? But when you have other countries telling the American people, the U.S. Citizens of the United States of America, that we better get up off our ass and go do something to fight for our rights or we're going to lose them, folks, I think it's time for you to pay attention. And if you don't, the next step you'll take in your parade is wiping your feet off on a welcome mat at the FEMA camp near you. So the relatable thing is this, of those two issues, is the fact that we have to privatize our system. In other words, you and I, the entrepreneurial person, the person who wants to grow their own business, wants to enhance their business, whatever it is, we need to force the hand of our politicians, basically slap the hands of our politicians like you did to your 2-year-old before they, picked something up that was going to destroy them. We need to slap the hands of the politicians and say, listen up, butthead, you work for us. We don't work for you. Here's what you're going to do, and you're going to do exactly what we tell you to do. That's just the way it is. Now, I know a lot of people, I've said that before, many times before, to many different people, and they've said, we can't do that. What do you mean we, the people, can't do that? We're doing it now at the American Spring in Washington, D.C. Somebody told me that might be, let's just say a honeypot. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. There might be some paid provocateurs in that system over there, so let's just take a look at it, shall we? So anyway, we need to privatize all these things. We need to look at our politicians and tell them that they work for us. Now, as I said, some people in the past have told me we can't do that. Yes, we can. It's called responsibility. It's called holding them accountable. It's called our duty and responsibility to take care of our country and hold our politicians accountable. If we cannot do that, or in most cases don't want to do that, then we've got some problems, folks. Okay? We've got some major problems. All right. The other thing that I want to dovetail that into, the other thing that I want to say is that we have the opportunity right now, today, the 16th of May, 2014, to make the changes that are going to be, number one, permanent, and number two, profitable for the American people. We have that moment today. We are at that crossroads. Some people might say, well, we can't do that because we don't want another civil war. Why not? I don't want it either, but why wouldn't we want some type of civil uprising, with civil disobedience to follow? Why wouldn't we want to do that? Why? I can tell you right now that the people on the left are a bunch of freaking cowards. They don't have the balls to stand up to people like me, because they'll call somebody and go, oh my God, he's threatening me, go get him. They're a bunch of wimpy little whiny ass bastards. They don't care. I'll give you an example, and this has probably happened to you, so you probably would understand this. A person goes to work, and they're working, and they're saying, hey, hi, they're talking to their colleagues there at work, and they, see some of the women, hey, how you doing? You're looking really good today. Hey, thanks, boom, and then they walk off. Well, about 20 minutes later, a supervisor comes out and tells you, or the person says, hey, come into the office. I want to talk to you about something. Okay, not a problem, because, hey, that's me. Hey, what do you got to talk about? Cool, let's go. Let's see what's on your mind. Then they tell that person, well, you said hello, and you said, to this person over here, someone, and they always start out with, someone told me. Your bosses always start out with something like that. Someone told me, or, something similar to that. And they say that you were sexually harassing someone. This has happened to me, by the way. I'm a full transparency. This has happened to me. Okay? I've proven them wrong every turn that they tried to use. I blocked them and proved them wrong, and they sat there with egg on their face. But as you can tell, I'm no longer working for those companies because of their blatant disregard for the facts and the truth. So, something like that happens to you, what do? You usually get, a warning, and then you get fired, and then, anything to get rid of you, apparently, So this is happening on the left. The left is running to their bosses and saying, oh, that conservative over there, that independent media outlet over there said this. They wanted to, as Pete Santilli said, and I don't want to get him in trouble anymore because he's had enough crap on this as well. But when Pete Santilli said that he'd like to kick Hillary Clinton in the vagina, I mean, hey, or shoot her in the vagina. That's what Pete Santilli said. He got a lot of crap over that. Because the libtards on the left were going, oh my God, he said that, oh my God. The libtards are going, he wants to damage our queen. Now, I'm being funny here, and I'm being, a little jovial, but the seriousness of this situation is that the people on the left don't really care about anybody on the right. Oh, and guess what, folks? Reality check. There is no such thing as left and right. It's all one and the same. Think about it, look at it, examine it, because it's all one and the same. So the left runs away and gets all butthurt over things that we do, and I'm not a conservative or a liberal. I don't even want to say that I'm independent as far as politically leaning is concerned. I'm more nonpartisan because neither one of the parties are, worth a damn. They don't really care. Look at Rand Paul. Yeah, he gets up there and starts spouting off this and doing that. Well, they stopped him in a heartbeat, didn't they? He wanted to audit the Fed, and he wanted to do this, wanted to do that, and then, of course, they shove him in a corner and compromise him with their lies. Okay? And that's what they do. They lie. And that's all they do, and that's all they know how to do, and that's all they want to do. Lie, 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 lie. We're going to say the lies so much and on and on and on, and we're going to continue to lie until you believe our lies. And then we're going to lie to you that we've lied to you. That's what the left does. That's what the Democrats do. That's what the Republicans do. Don't tell me it's just one party. They do what they do, folks. They're all liars, every single last one of them. Okay? I don't care who they are. I don't care if they're running for president for 2016, unless they can put the stuff on the table that tells me that I can trust them and shows me that I can have, or they show me the truth of what they're saying and they back it up with what they're, back up what they're saying with some information. You know what? They ain't getting my vote. They're not getting my vote. And they shouldn't get yours either. That's just the way it is. Now, of course, all this stuff, I've been asked, and the question has been raised many times over the years, is what difference does it make? Hello, Hillary Clinton. What difference does it make? How much of a difference do we, the people, make on the system that is so corrupt? That is a bigger issue. How much difference can we, the people, make on a system that is so corrupt? Well, number one, we're pointing it out. Number two, we're pointing out who it is and what's going on behind the scenes. And number three, we're telling you who their bosses are. So I think that's pretty important, don't you think? That's pretty important. So hopefully I've pulled away the curtain and shown you who's pushing the buttons and pulling the handles and sharing the truth with you one fact at a time. I hope that you are encouraged enough to go out and look this stuff up yourself. Oh, and please, if I've overlooked something, send me that information, please. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. Would love to hear from you and get your take on this. Okay? I really would. Now, here's the other thing before I leave. In the next minute or few minutes here. There are certain things that you need to pay attention to. And I've been saying that all along in the show. Certain things that you need to pay attention to. And usually they'll, it's like a beacon, oh, here it is, but you're not paying attention. So there are things you need to pay attention to. Folks, come join me on the Views Expressed today at 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com, FreeAmericaRadio.us, WakingUpTheMasses.com, and also on 1610 a.m. in the Chickamauga, Georgia area. Hello, Georgia. Also, come join Diana and myself on Diana and Wayne's Grab Bag Potpourri Talk Show tonight at 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern on Spreaker.com and on grabbagshow.weebly.com. Whew. Man, little burping there. Sorry, folks. Again, come join me. Free America Radio Network, FreeAmericaRadio.us. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com is the email. FreeAmericaRadio@USA.com. Come join me on the Views Express Live today, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, on the Free America Radio Network. And hey, if you have a question, ask me. No question is off limits, folks. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. All right, it's simple as that. So email me, freeamericaradio@USA.com, freeamericaradio@USA.com. Hey, folks, I'm going to get out of here. Catch me later on the Views Express live, 4 p.m. Pacific, 7 p.m. Eastern, right here on the Free America Radio Network.